Hello, hello, everybody. We are Saturday morning, and I have the honor to be with Patricia Suggs, the CEO of PKG Publishing Company, who is a publisher of Aspire, Women Finding Their Purpose, the book that is going to be launched on April 30th. We are 6 days before the launch day. This is so exciting. I was not expecting that to be such an exciting process. I was thinking that, okay, I have to write my story and then it's more or less done. But actually, in the publishing process, writing your story is just the beginning and everything goes afterwards. So we will talk with Patricia about, we will bring you behind the scene of a published book. Who would like, I would have loved to know that before. And how do we go from the idea to the launch date and even after? How do we put everything? What does it mean to publish a book and what is key for us? So Patricia will share all of this with us. This interview is part of the exclusive interview series I am doing with all of the author and all of and the publisher. Thank you, Patricia, for being there. The book launch is April 30th. If you have not saved the date yet, please do it on your calendar because it's gonna be amazing. We are going to do a clubhouse at 9:30 PST Pacific time in the morning. If you follow me, Benedict Ertzen on Clubhouse, you will find it. We will have all the author and the publisher, and we will do a launch party with you guys. So join us. It's going to be very, very fun. And we are going as well to do a very specific VIP training, exclusive training for the launch day. You will not be able to have it for free, at least anywhere else. So it's fast track to a life of purpose. I will compile all those wonderful stories and amazing guidance, inspiring guidance from the author into one training to help you fast track to a life of purpose. So it's free. You can get it on the launch day and you just need to register. It will not be a broadcast live. It will be a live for registration only, and you have the link just below. So that was for the housekeeping topic. And now, Patricia, my first question for you is, why did you become a publisher? Because I understood it was it was not your first job. And so as you introduce yourself, can you tell us more about this idea to become a publisher? It's a fancy idea for me. I wish one day when I grow up that I could be a publisher, but not yet. So let me know.
Yeah, 2 years ago or even a year ago, I wouldn't have thought I would be one either. I've done a lot of different things. I've been in ministry. I've been on faculty in a medical center, and all of this is under ministry, but it's all been very different. I've done all kinds of different writings, from sermons to scientific writings to now and I did my first chapter in a multi-author. Actually, I did one about 2 years ago, but I did my first one with AMA Publishing about a year ago, a little over a year ago. And that was great. I really enjoyed it, but I didn't think of being a publisher. Exactly. I've always loved books, anything about books. But I thought of that. Then I began doing more within my coaching and training business. It's like I realized my biggest overarching goal is to help women, to help professional women to rise up, to stand up and stand out, to be who they really are, to be the leader that they've been called to be deep down inside, or that they just really they're feeling like that's their purpose. So I want to help them achieve that and do it in such a way that they are noticed, they're visible, they're heard, and they have an impact as well. So I guess my overall goal is I want to impact women who will then impact more women. And so when the opportunity came up, I thought, oh, there was an opportunity with Adriana Monique Alvarez to do a training on how to be a publisher. And while you do the training, you're actually working on your first book. And
Okay.
that was really interesting to think of it that way, that I didn't, because I'm used to you do all the training and then you do whatever you were trained for. So this was fascinating, and it was very new for me. Some had, I think, in the class had already done some things like this before, but I hadn't done anything like this. So I had to think about it, but I didn't take too long because I realized what better way to have an even greater impact out there with women than to publish books that are stories from women who can then speak to and inspire women out there who maybe are holding back, or maybe they haven't been told how talented they are, or maybe their voice has been squelched, or whatever, and they're invisible, or at least they feel they are. So that's when I made the decision, okay, I can do this, because we'll get the training while we're doing it. And that's how I actually came with the decision. It came up on that decision is because it met part of my purpose, and that was to bring women together, tell our stories, and then impact other women.
I love that. And especially, well, not only because there is a kind of ripple effect, a snowball effect, that we start to help some and then people are helping others and so forth. And so our, not teaching, but our inspiration is broadcasted, and this is endless and limitless.
Yeah, it is.
My best gift is, one of her clients told me one day, you know what you told me last week? I told to my nephew because he was having the problem, and I told him exactly what you tell me, and it has helped him. And I was thinking,
I love that.
Fantastic, because not only it has helped her, but now she can help the family and the team and everybody around her.
Yeah.
And I love this snowball effect or ripple effect. I don't know which. In English, it's still a bit difficult for me. I am
Ripple's pretty good. Ripple's good.
if you don't know yet, if you have not recognized the accent yet, but I like it also because in all the interviews that I have done, so if you want to watch the interview and you have missed them, they are available on my YouTube channel. So just go for there. I will drop the link on YouTube below that, and so, or you can type Benedict Orsini on YouTube and you will go to the channel, and I will upload all the videos there. So if you have missed them, you have a chance to see the replay of them.
Right.
And in a lot of those interviews from different perspective, from different author perspective, there was a lot of helping women. There was a lot of my purpose is to help others, and there is something greater than ourselves in our purpose that is exactly what you are saying. Actually, you are walking the talk. You are doing yourself in your life what you help other women doing, and I love it. I love it because I find it so beautiful to really do what we preach, to really do what we teach, to really be an example on the way we are living and the way we are working, and the way people can perceive us as a total congruence with what we say that and what we believe in. So I love this idea, and I would like to come back to something else that you said. You said it was totally new for me, and I would like to dig a bit more about it, because from the interviews that we have done as well, trying something new comes so many times that I did something new and all of a sudden there was doors opening to a life of possibilities that I didn't even know it was there.
Yeah.
And so it's true for you as well as a publisher. You said it was new for me. So tell us more about what was new and what did you learn in this process?
Sure. Well, I just never I mean, I've written, but I've never published. So I didn't quite understand or know the different processes that you can go through to get published. And I'd always thought, I guess when I thought of publishing, I thought of like the huge publishing houses, the traditional ones. And I hadn't thought of this way of publishing, which was more online, and it was working through Amazon, and it was just doing some really new and exciting things. So that was brand new. And then as I was taking the training and learning, it was, oh, wow. So part of my job then was and the biggest part was finding the authors. And so I had to learn how to put the word out there, which I had never had to do before. Marketing, I just had never, I'd done a little, but I'd never really had to really, put it out there and keep working and that was new. I hadn't really quite figured out how you did that. So I learned a lot about that, how you can put it online, how you can use Facebook, LinkedIn, all the different platforms. And that was exciting for me because it's, again, my age, again, I didn't grow up with computers. I didn't grow up with an iPhone in my hand, and I didn't grow up, playing video. We didn't have video games, we got our son a video game, and it was like, I mean, I've never learned how to really do a good video game. My fingers don't move fast enough. Our 4-year-old, our grandson, when he was 4, yes, when our grandson was 4, he's 18 now, but when he was 4, he actually tried to help me learn on a Wii. They had a Wii, and he got so frustrated because I couldn't make the little man go. I mean, you had to do 2 things at one time with both thumbs. I couldn't do it. And he finally just said, Grandma, just give it here. And he controlled one guy with one hand and one guy with the other. And I'm like, there's no way. So all of that was so way beyond, my expertise. I just had not learned any of that. I typed all of my term papers. The first thing I ever put on a computer was my dissertation for my doctorate, and that was on a Commodore 64, one of the very first portable laptop, portable printer and computer and all that. I had to get a printer too. So all of that was new. So I'm learning all of this stuff, and I had learned a little bit, but once I got into the publishing, it was like, wow, I'd never done a live before, learned how to do that, and actually love doing them. They're fun. And then I learned all the technical, how you do it. And now I'm learning even more about what goes on behind. And, you have a team, and the team helps you work through, pulling things together and formatting and editing. And then they work with Amazon to then make sure they go by all of their guidelines, and they work right on up until the launch. And then on the launch day, which is so exciting, I can't wait. We go for we start early in the day and go pretty much all day, because I will be getting the links as they come in for different parts of the world, different countries, and I send those out as soon as I get them. And so Australia is usually first.
Yeah, because
they're a day ahead.
When it's 9 a.m. in Australia, in Pacific time where I am, it's 6 p.m. the day before.
That's right.
They will start actually when it will still be 29th of April for me.
Right. Yeah.
So, but that's a digital world, and this is the kind of amazing possibilities that we have to be global and to impact so much more people.
Oh, so, absolutely. Yeah, it's exciting.
And I would like to come back to this process that you were just unfolding a bit. On the launch day, you said that it will be on Amazon and we will have the link to buy the book. Can you explain to our audience, why is it so important to buy the book? First of all, to buy the book, that's for sure. It's only 99 cents, so it's less than a cup of coffee, and you will help us, the author, to be best-selling author, and you will help as well a charity of womankind that we will give all the proceedings to them. So that
Yeah,
will be a double good good
yeah,
action
absolutely. Yeah.
for $1. So what can we ask for more? This is just a no-brainer. So you buy the book, but let us let tell the audience why is it so important to buy it on the launch day.
Well, if you could drag it out. I mean, we could drag it out, and I think when a book comes out, it's really when it first comes out, that's when there's momentum and motivation, and everybody's excited. And so the more that people go online to Amazon and buy the book, that just raises the numbers of books sold, of course. And so that's what puts you on the bestseller. If we waited and we just let it kind of play out, kept periodically marketing and all of that, people wouldn't really you wouldn't have that crowd mentality of, oh, this is it, this is the day, and this is what's going to help make it a bestseller. It would take forever. It would take much longer, I think, to be a bestseller than if we just say, okay, this is the day. Now, we don't say don't buy the book after, because the paperback will come out,
Yeah.
in probably a couple of weeks after. And we definitely want you to buy that. It won't be super expensive either, but the 99 cent, like you said, Benedict, it's a no-brainer. I mean, 99 cents, you can't hardly buy anything for 99 cents.
Yeah.
So this is a pretty good deal.
I will ask a very easy question for the audience. Are you paperback book or ebook? I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
That in the comment. How do you like to read books, paperback or ebook? Just tell us in the comments. Sorry.
Yeah.
So you say that, yes, there is a kind of momentum, and I shall say that for me it was new as well, of course, because I've never been a published author, and so it was new as well. But there is a kind of fun to prepare the launch day. It's a lot of work. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, you've done an amazing job for us. I can't thank you enough. I mean, all the interviews, and then watching those just gets me even more excited. It's like, oh wow, because the women are phenomenal. All of you are.
Well, thank you very much for your kind words. I proposed that because I thought it was a great way to do it, and I love to meet people, and I love to know their story, and I love to help them get their message heard and to have an impact on the world.
Yeah.
But I shall admit that I didn't figure out that it will be so much work.
It's a lot more.
Well, it's lessons learned by itself, and I think I will make a course just for that on how to do it in a seamless way, so it doesn't take as much time as it did for me. But
isn't that because it's just a learning curve for you too, and once you get it, then it becomes much easier. But I know you put hours and hours into this, because it's not easy on the back end. Getting it to where it looks seamless, but it does look seamless, I have to tell you.
Well, it means that I'm a natural.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Well, I've got quite an organization behind the scene, because as an engineer, I'm still very, very efficient. And very early in my life, I wanted a family and a business and a life together. And I didn't want to sacrifice any of them for the others, so I had to be very organized. So this is usually something that my clients love, because I help them to put the system and strategy in place, so everything is seamless. And we learn each time, and that's the beauty to have the chance and to be so fortunate in being a coach and a business consultant, is that I can help so much people, and I love that. When they say, oh, but that's easy. Yes, actually, it can be easy as soon as you walk through the process itself and how to do it.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is what you are learning as well in the publishing process about it.
Oh,
so
and
let's start at the beginning from the process. How did you get the idea of Aspire? Aspire is the title of the book. So when you will look in Amazon, it will be Aspire. April 30th, the launch day, just in case. But the tagline is Women Finding Their Purpose. So why did you choose this book as your first book as a publishing company?
Well, I knew I wanted it to be I knew I wanted it to be for women by women. So, I began knowing that I wanted it to be for women. And then sometimes I look back and I know why, as I look back, it makes sense, because I think finding your purpose, no matter what that purpose is key because for me, my passions and my purpose go together. Yeah. So when I'm excited and I'm passionate about something and it won't let me go and I can't get it out of my head or my heart, then I know that that's something I need to be doing. I have to do. And so for me, they go together. And I found my overarching purpose ages and ages ago, before I ever started in my first career in ministry. And that was, I wanted to help people. I've always, even as a little kid, I was that way. So I knew I always wanted to help people. And then as I've helped people in a lot of different ways, I believe, and it's been phenomenal. The journey has been amazing. But when I came to this particular opportunity, I thought, every woman has a purpose, and they may not know it yet. They may not have discovered it yet, but they're working on it. And even when those who say, I don't really know what my purpose is, I think deep down, if they search deep enough, they'll find at least a little part of what that purpose is probably for them. And I wanted women who were willing to tell their story about finding, and they may not, and I remember making the statement to some of the authors, you don't have to have found it doesn't have to be complete. It can be, you're in the middle of it, you're journeying towards it, you kind of know what direction you want to go in, but you don't have to have everything figured out, because I don't think any of us figure everything out, because something new happens down the road. Yeah. Like publishing. Yeah, that was just an opportunity, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this sounds really good. So I wanted to speak to that. I wanted women who were willing to, share their story, the ups, the downs, all the hard things, plus all the good things, the jubilant times they had, as well as the down times, all the ups and downs. So I knew it had to be something like that. And it was funny because I've said this so many times, but the word aspire, I don't know. I honestly am not sure why it popped in my head. I think I know now why, because it needed to be the title. But at the time I was thinking, why can't I get rid of that word? I mean, it's always aspire for something, aspiration for something. And then one day it just hit that I could combine the two, that aspiring really is what I did throughout my journey. I aspired to be, to do, to contribute. Those were my aspirations. And those aspirations were really a big part of my purpose. It's what I was aspiring to my purpose. Now, could I have articulated it like that when I was starting out? No, I couldn't. But yeah, and so one day it does, I don't know, taking a shower, waking up, whatever, the word just kept, I kept saying, okay, I'm going to use aspire. And then women finding their purpose just seemed to be the logical end to it. So, that doesn't sound like a miraculous thing, but it was a work in progress as I thought of, what do I want women to talk about? And I knew what I wanted them to talk about because I remember the journeys. I'm still going through the journey, but I remembered the early journeys. And I remembered there were good times, but there were hard times too. Yeah, nothing that made me quit. But they were hard though.
Okay, I am sharing so I tried something new, and actually it was coming earlier, and I was thinking, sorry for that, Patricia. But I wanted to share the beautiful cover that you have come up with. It's vibrant. It has a lot of colors, so it's joyful. It's different women looking in different directions, so it really represents a variety and the different paths that we can have to do that. And I would love to, now that you can tell us, how did you come up with such a beautiful cover?
Well, I have to give credit where credit's due. The team golly, they did well. And actually, Derek, who was on the team, did an amazing job. He put it out there. I had to give him a summary. This is kind of what this is the title, and this is what I'm looking for. And I told him I wanted it for all women. It was all inclusive, and I just wanted it to really sparkle, to just kind of hit. And so he put out a challenge to artists, and they came back with their choice, or what their creations, and that one just stood out. In fact, we edited it a little. There was the first one that like that came out had a bigger female silhouette in the middle, but I really liked all the different, and Derek did too, all the different women looking different directions without anything hiding that. And so that's how we came up with this one. And so, they're just all, and it was interesting. He never gave, he was great. He never gave which one was his favorite till I told him which one was my favorite. And then he would come back and go, I thought that one did it too. I mean, I really like that one. And so that's how we got it. And they did an amazing job. I love that cover.
Yeah. So we have a title, we have a tagline, then we have a kind of summary.
Mm-hmm.
And then what is the next steps?
After I get all of this part done?
Yeah.
Yeah. The biggest part is finding the authors. And gosh, that's been an amazing journey too. The very first one, Jennifer Brannig, was my very first one. And she's in the UK. And then I think Shireen, I can't remember exact order, but I began getting responses from women and that said they wanted to talk about it. And so, I spent lots of hours on the phone, which was great though. I ended up getting to talk with all of you guys, which you are just so amazing. I say that all the time, but you are. I mean, your stories are, they're so unique. You're all working for your purpose, but every one of them is unique. And many say they do want to help people, but it's all unique. It's all done in different ways. And how you came about your journey and how you're traveling it, that's all very different too. So but it did spend, that was the majority of the time, was spent talking with women, finding out, if they really wanted to and what it would entail and getting all of that together. And at the end, I remember, Benedict, that you were even very helpful. You said we only had like 2 places left, and I mean, many of them helped me, Mandy and Shireen, and gosh, I don't want to miss anybody, but so many of the women out there helped. But the last 2, I remember, I think they were ones that you sent me. And it was just amazing because we had like 2 spots and I was so excited. It was like, oh my gosh, it's almost there, because you really want all the authors together, all in agreement, all committed before you even think about a launch date. And so you had to, I had to kind of get it to where, okay, I had to get the authors, get all of them together. We start talking, everybody understands what they're to do. And then we begin getting the chapters in, and it's only when we know about when the chapters will all come in that we know we can set a launch date. So that's, I guess, the biggest part of it is that I would call it the middle part, of getting the right authors for the book.
Well, actually, this middle part is, as a business owner, is getting clients.
Yeah.
So your author are your clients, your first level clients, and then the second level of clients will be the readers.
Absolutely.
But you have a business that we will call, I don't know if I will call it a B2B, business to business or not, but because some of us don't have a business necessarily, and you can be an author even if you don't have a business, as soon as you want to share your story, or as soon as you really believe strongly in some things that you want to share, you can be an author. You don't need to be in business for that. So your business is not really a business to business, but it still have 2 levels of customer and clients. The first level is the author, to give you the content and to give some material to actually spread the word out and
Right.
publish a book. You need to have something first in the book, and you cannot write all of your book. It doesn't make sense. First level, and then you have a second level.
Yeah.
And the beauty of a multi-author book is that you create a team in which we know each other's, and especially through the interviews, I feel very connected with, with my sister's author. Uh,
Yeah.
we are coming from very, very different worlds. We are going along with different paths, and yet, for some reason, we decided to jump into this adventure.
Right.
My question will you for you will be, how did you choose the woman? um, is there My question behind that is that, is there a kind of personality, content wise, criteria that we need to have to be a good author and to be a published author and to become hopefully a best-selling author? Launch day is April 30th, so we count on you if you're watching this video to buy
Yeah.
the book on April 30th. You will find the link below the videos and on the YouTube channel as well. And in every author, we will share the link. Don't worry about it. We don't have it yet because it's not yet available on Amazon. But is there any criteria? If I have a if I am I'm sorry, I would like to answer questions that you may have as an audience. I have a lot of things to say, but I don't know if I have what it takes to become a published author.
Yeah.
Can you
Sure.
answer that questions for that?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what I was looking for, and I got it hands down. I mean, amazing, better than I even thought. I mean, y'all are just, it's been a team that has gelled. This group of women, gosh, I know I will always feel connected to all of you because we have gotten to know each other, and it's been so exciting. But I was looking for dynamic women, women who were, excited about telling their story. They were willing to be vulnerable, and it is, when you tell your secrets or you tell things that have occurred in your life that aren't, the hard times, that takes courage. And I wanted a woman courageous enough to do that, but who also had at least had an idea of their purpose and they're on the journey. I didn't want someone coming and saying, well, I can write about my life, but I don't have any real purpose. Because I think all of us have a purpose, but you got to recognize it. So I wanted women that recognized the direction they were going in. Did they have to have it all defined? No. But they had a story to tell about things that they'd gone through, things they'd come through to get to this stage in their life that they were saying, look, I'm where I want to be at this stage in the journey, and I'm ready to share the story. So that's who I was looking for. So for me, for any book, I think if you have a story to tell and it's something that will share and will inspire, then you don't have to be, super high up in a corporation or super high, you can be a good author. You don't have to know. And if you struggle with some writing, we can help you some with that. If there are some, things you want to talk about before you do it, that can be talked about. But don't put yourself out of the running to be an author just because you've never done it or you're just not quite sure. Because I think a lot of the women in our group had not shared their story before. Some had written before, but not everyone. And it's turned out to be a
Well, I did.
beautiful experience. Yeah, you
I
hadn't
did
written,
have
had
this
you?
is
Yeah,
no. Well, I wrote for me, but I never published.
yeah.
So this is something different.
Oh,
And you are. I like what you said in the fact that there is a kind of vulnerability when you share your story. And if you consider writing a book, or if you have the dream of a book, leave us a comment so we can know that you are exciting about this, and we can come back to you to know how we can help you, because
Yeah, for
we
sure.
have through this process. But what I have learned as a new author in this journey, if you if you want to follow me for the last 3 months, you can see that on my Facebook profile. But um, what I really learned is that there is a difference between writing your story and publishing it.
Hmm.
And you can be a writer and deciding not to be an author. But when you decide to be an author, there is something that, and I like that you said that, there is a kind of vulnerability that you are ready to share with the world.
Right.
Because at some point, and for me, it has been the most difficult, and you know that because I have kept changing my stuff, and I was very last minute deadline, and I know that it was difficult for me because at some point, as soon as I release my story, it becomes public, and I cannot change it anymore. I cannot, even if I evolve, and even if I'm going to be different in a couple of weeks, months, years, it will be still there. What I say today or a couple of weeks ago will still be available. And
Hmm.
for me, it was really, really difficult to say, okay, I am sure I want to say that,
Yeah. No,
but
I,
stay. And
yeah.
even if I am visible on Facebook, even if I have an amazing group, Successful Leading Women in Business, that is so wonderful to hang on. Even all of that, for me, it was difficult to accept this kind of permanent visibility, this kind of this is the end, and I will not be able to change whatever. So I had to work on myself to say, okay, actually, this is just the beginning,
Right.
because through this story, I don't know what is in life for me next time, but I know that I will never be the same before and after publishing. And I'm not already the same lady that has wrote the chapter early March.
And see, I love that you say that because hopefully we don't stay the same. I mean, we're constantly evolving and changing. And I mean, that's what's so exciting to me about life is that there's always something else. I mean, we can always grow and become even more. So it's, I think the way you began to look at it, and I know that's the way I've looked at it when I've written things, is this is me now.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's going to be me a week from now, or even tomorrow, something may miraculously, you just never know. So I'm glad you said that because it's okay that it's published at this point because this is who you are now. But
Yeah.
it's not saying I'm not going to change and be very different down the road. And it's also, I know some have even written, there were a couple that talked to me about it as they were writing their chapter. And they said, well, I can't get it all in. And I go, but you don't have to. This is just a chapter. And so you can use, if you're wanting to write a book, and I know a few of you are, this is a chapter in the book. It's
Yeah.
not, this chapter doesn't have to be and can't be everything. It's just the beginning, and it can be a chapter in your solo book down the line. So it's seeing it as a step instead of the whole thing.
And I like that actually because it's easier to read. It's different style because I've read all the chapter for the interviews. So I might be one of the first readers of this book, this amazing book. But it's easy to read, and even if you are not in a specific story because it doesn't relate to your own life, you can still read it easily, and so you still get something from that. You can still get something
Yeah.
because even if the story was not the same as yours, there is something at some point say, ah, this is it. She's right. This is it. She's right. This is
Mm-hmm.
in another perspective. And so I like this inspiring um, the ability to inspire women who want to aspire. And
Yeah.
And there is a kind of, balance between inspiring, being inspired before we can aspire. And we don't dream of things in life that are not at our reach. So if you dream to write a book someday, then it means that this is for you. It's
Yeah.
for everybody. But if you dream of it, then this is for you. And
Oh, absolutely.
any challenge that you may have in the middle is you can overcome them. It might be just a matter of time, or it might be just a matter of support.
Yeah.
What and before we go into more details about that, I would like to share with our audience that we are going to do an exclusive VIP training on launch day. It's going to be so much fun, and I'm
Mhm.
excited because I'm preparing it right now. I've never done it before, so I'm doing it really
A
just
new thing. There you go.
yeah, it's just for you. And it will be called Fast Track to a Life of Purpose. I'm combining everything I have learned in this journey as an author to find my own purpose and to take the perspective from my sister's author into that training. It will be just crisp,
Oh,
really that
great.
you can trust my engineer brain to give you exactly what you need and nothing else to fast track to a life of purpose. It's
That's
free
exciting.
on launch day before I make it paid, and you need to register for that. You have the link below.
That's exciting. Hmm.
Yes, I mean, it's so exciting already to do it, so it can only be exciting
Oh,
to
yeah, on launch day, it's going to be even better. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And so we have the title, we have the cover, we have the summary, we have more or less the people this is for. So in this book, it was quite easy. It was for women, even though I really encourage any man to read at least some of them because it will give you an exclusive look on how do we feel and how do we perceive things as women. Uh,
Hmm.
it's just
Yeah.
so much open heart that it will be easy for you to understand that. But nevertheless, the first target is I hate that word, but this is marketing word. So the first public, let's say, is for women,
Hmm.
and then what else? What does it take to be a publisher? If I want to be a publisher tomorrow, what do I need to know? What will be your three recommendation to become a publisher?
Okay. Well, first, I would, with a desire, of course, and you really want to, and the willingness to commit the time. And also, and a good word of advice, there's trainings out there. Adriana's constantly opening up training for women who would like to be publishers. And she, is, I think, taking applications or just asking if people are interested now. She'll do this periodically, I'm sure. But I know there are openings now. But you decide to get what training you need, what you need to learn, and then you just go for it. So I guess for me, it would be the desire and commitment first, then the training, and then, gosh, the courage, I guess. Yeah, my last one would be courage because it's new, and I think at least for me, it took courage on my part to do it. To say, okay, I'm willing to. I've got the commitment. I know I want to do it, and now yeah. But it took me getting out of my comfort zone to say, yeah, I'll do it. But
I love that
yeah.
because what you are saying for your own journey to find your purpose and being a publisher, it's true for me as an author.
Hmm.
Had to had the desire because when you are just in front of your page and you wonder, okay, what I'm going to talk about,
What am I going to write now?
you better have the desire to write something, otherwise it's going to be very, very difficult. I had to get some training on how to do it and what is the process, and there were so many part of it that I didn't really understand and didn't really see, especially as a French girl writing in English. For me, there was an additional training on
Mm.
how to see things in English. Talking, usually people understand me, but writing it's much more difficult for me to get my message the right way across. So I'm always careful about that. And there is a kind of courage because this is new.
Mm-hmm.
And I love these 3 steps because we find them in so many part of our life. Each time we want to reach the next level, we
Right.
are going to go through that. I
Yeah,
need to have the desire to get to the next level because if I don't have it yet, there is something for me to learn.
that's
And
right.
so we are back to the training. And then as as the path unfold and you see more and more possibilities, then you understand why you're not there yet and why you have never done it before. And then it takes courage to keep
Mhm.
going and say, I want it. I know I can do it. And so I'm going to do it.
Right.
And and I love that because as a coach, this is a seamless process that we all go and I go with
Mm-hmm.
my client when it comes for them to create the money they need to live the life they want at some point if they don't have it yet. It
Yeah.
this is because there is something to overcome and to learn and
Mm-hmm.
and then to have the courage to still go for it. So
Right.
I love it because it's very specific to you and at the same time it's very universal.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime we want, and if you are in your life to willing to reach the next level, then this is definitively part of it. The easiest part, not the easiest part, but the inner part for that belongs to you is the desire and the courage, and then you will find the right person to train you and to to
Right.
to help you learn what you need to do to be comfortable in this new level,
That's true.
in this new world. So thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
So we have the launch day,
Mm-hmm.
April 30th. So this is, we are Saturday. This is next Friday. So it's
Yeah. Yeah. So,
day, 6 days before that. So tell us more about what is going to happen on the launch day.
well, they will. I'll be on the computer probably most of the day, except when I come to the open house, and not open house, the party and the VIP.
Yeah,
But
so we have a party on the clubhouse
yes,
at
yes, party
9:30
on the clubhouse.
and you can follow me on Clubhouse. I will put that in the comments so you can see it. Um, and so you can have all the information about it. So yes, you are going to do the party, lunch day party. It's
Yes.
going to be so much fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
got to be on that. And then staying on the computer because what the team will do is they will give me the go. They get the links, and then as they get them, they give them to me. So the first one, of course, we said Australia, and then they'll just go by the times, the different time zones for all over the world, and then I will get those links. So once I get the link, then I start sending it to everyone. And so it's just then you can watch evidently you can watch the numbers. That's what I'm excited about. You can watch as the sales go
Can
up.
can we hear that? Are those numbers public? Can we? Is
I
it
don't know
only?
if everyone can see them or if they're seeing them and then letting me know. That's something I haven't. Yeah, I'm still getting clear on. But yeah, we'll have up to date because I've heard some of the other publishers in my training group say that they could watch the different numbers and things. So it was exciting. It sounds exciting, and I can't wait. Yeah.
It is. It is very exciting actually because it's like when you put numbers like this in change management, we say that you get what you measure.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to have a certain level of books sold and you monitor, sorry, how many books you are selling, then there is a good chance that it just increase just by looking at it. Because I'm letting know people that you are looking at it. Actually, this is, you get what you measure, but you need to tell people that you are looking at it.
Right.
And because of that, this is so beautiful because it's another part um, of what I've learned in my VP life in corporate is that when you want to put changes and this is true for a company, this is true for a team, this is true for a book, but this is true for your individual life. If you want to reach the next level in your life, then there is some change to put in place. And the best way to make it happen is you get what you measure. is to measure. What is a measurement that you can have to measure your progress? And so I love that we find that again in a book.
Mhm.
We will have all those numbers, so you will give it to us so we can share with
Yeah.
our audience as well. That's going to be very, very exciting. And we need to so we will do all of that, and then hopefully we will sell enough book to be a best-selling author.
Yes. Yeah.
What does it mean exactly to be a best-selling author?
Well, it means you've sold a lot of books.
Is there a number? Is there a number? Do we know the number?
I don't know the number. I just know that that's important. I mean, the number makes a huge difference, and there are different categories that the team works on to put it in the right category. Like our book you wouldn't find it in the engineering category.
No, it has
No.
nothing to do there anyway. So yeah.
Or in architecture or in literature. I mean, it's its own. It will have its. There's several different ones. I'm still learning those. In Amazon, they have so many different categories, but it will be in several other. That our book will go on. Gosh, that day on launch day into several categories, and we'll see how they rank. And it really, again, it's the ranking, and how you look at other books, like which one is going ahead, which one, because you're going against other books too. So there's a little competition, but it's more when it stands on its own, it's not a huge deal because it's different. And I think this one is. I really believe it is. And so they will find all the different categories, and we will be watching those, and I'll keep everybody abreast of all of those and how we're doing, and on all different levels. So yeah. And then we will, gosh, once we hit bestseller anywhere, then it's gonna, I will definitely have that out there, announcing it and letting everybody know. So I can't wait. I can't wait to be able to send that message. That's what I want to send. Yes.
Okay. Can we share something that is already prepared behind the scene and not visible for our audience, just as a sneak peek?
Yeah. What do you want to share? What do we share?
I would like to share that we have already the design ready for saying that we are best-selling authors. So we count on you so we can use them.
Yes.
Yes. We can use them. And so the launch book is April 30th. You do need to buy the book no matter what, because for $1 you will have 20 different perspectives on how to find your purpose and what does it mean. They are so inspiring.
Oh yeah.
Is that for $1, this is a no-brainer. And on top of that, your dollar will go full. All the proceedings, 100% of them, will go directly to a charity helping women. So you are doing two good things, one for you, one for the charity, and the third one for us to help us get the best-selling author. And so you do need to buy the book, and you do need to buy the book on April 30th. That's part of the big process. And we have a beautiful design to say to shout out the word that we are best-selling authors. So I am already just excited that
and also, the other way to look at it too is when you're a best-selling, when you're number one bestseller, when the book is, that means it gets to more people. So the impact will be even greater. Because it's going to be out there to even more people, and it has an opportunity to help and impact even more women. So not just the women, all of you who buy it, but the women, will see the book, because when it's bestseller, it's going to be up, it's going to be up there, and you're going to see it when you do searches and that kind of thing. So it's really important. And I wouldn't stop with just women reading it. I think the husbands, partners, boyfriends, men at work, they need to read it too. They need to read it. They need to know what women go through to achieve their purpose, and that women don't stop. We fight for what we want, and we have to. And I think men, and Ravi even put in there, I see a comment, yes, men must read it too, and they should. I think bosses should read it. I think male friends, as I said, boyfriends, whatever, relatives, they need to read it. Because they will, I know they'll be inspired.
if you have any relationship issue or any things that you don't know how to say to a woman, read that book. You will have all the answers you need, because there are so many different positioning and perspectives and life that you have the answer in the book. No matter I don't know where, but you will find it. So that's for sure.
Oh, if that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have so much common issues of
Yeah.
how to step up as a woman and how
Hmm.
to be there. That is, yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's beautiful. Okay, we are at the end of this beautiful interview. Thank you so much, Patricia, for
Oh, thank you.
sharing with us the behind the scene of being a publisher. Um, so the launch date is April 30th, just in case you don't have it already on your. We will do a clubhouse. We will start the day with a clubhouse next week. We have a couple of clubhouse. We have one in Monday. We have another one on Thursday with different author. So different perspective and different chance to share your own story and your own purpose. But on launch day on April 30th, we will have all the author and the publisher together to celebrate the launch day. This is so exciting.
Yes.
I
Oh,
cannot
right.
wait for that. And you can see as well, if you have missed some other interview, you can see them on my YouTube channel. I have just created it for it, so it's still a bit a work in process. So please, done is better than perfect. So don't be too.
Absolutely.
You will find the video, and I will upload them this weekend so everybody can see it.
I'm excited. This is going to be great. And thank you for doing that too.
You're welcome. So, last information on launch day, I will do an exclusive training, and I'm creating it just for this book. So, this is your only chance to see it before it becomes a pet content. And it's fast tracked to a life of purpose. You will have all the nuggets that has helped us as author to step up and to live the life that we wanted to live. So we are more than happy to help you on that. And I think this is it for today. So it has been beautiful talking to you. Thank you very much for that.
Thank
And
you.
the next interview is next week. We still have 3 interviews and 3 clubhouse. So stay tuned. You can find all the details in the group Successful Woman in Business, or under those videos. If you leave comments, we will see them. So
Sounds great.
thank you very much, Patricia. Do you want to have a final word before we?
Just April 30th, buy the book. 99 cents. Less than coffee.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Okay, so this is going to be so much fun. I'm just excited just to talk about it.
Oh, me too. Me too. Yeah.
Okay, so see you next week, someday, for one of the interview, and definitively on the launch day, April.
Yes.
Yes. Thank
Yeah.
you very much for listening to us, and see you next time.
Thank you.